I want to tell you a quick story about how I arrived at the mindset of when I'm making a request or I'm telling somebody where I stand on something. I eliminated any uncertain terms. So I don't use words like I would like to or probably kind of, because I learned over the years that I have lived, both personally and professionally, that people like to take the smallest amount of leeway and use that to their advantage. Or it could just very much be that the way they process information, any amount of leeway or any amount of free space where they can stick their own interpretation in there, people just go for it. I remember I was in a Facebook group back when I was on Facebook. And the Facebook group, it was a workout group. And it was, hundreds of thousands of people, I believe, maybe just tens of thousands. I can't remember, but it was a lot of people, mostly women, on this in this Facebook group. And usually, in a Facebook group, one of the rules in the group is that you do any communication with group members is done within the group. And it's normally frowned upon, not allowed, or discouraged, if you will, to contact group members by private message. Or at least I have been in a lot of groups where that is the case. And I'm not saying that that's the reason I felt the way I did when somebody reached out to me. I'm just saying that that is also the case. And I'm in this group, and generally, any correspondence I do with members of the group, I am doing it within the group. So let's say I want to ask a question to a certain group member, I would make a post within the group and tag that person, asking that person to respond. Okay, that's how I would handle it. Well, I'd been in the group for a while, and I post pretty motivating things, right? I'm using this group almost, I'm really like an accountability format or an accountability piece, but also to kind of almost like a diary. Like, this is what I went through the day, this is what my mindset was, and this is how I overcame it. I mean, I'm not a life coach by career. I'm really a life coach by design. Like, this is the work I've done for my entire life. And when I say my entire life, I mean, even when I was a kid, this is how I thought and processed information. And so a lot of people were motivated by it. And one of the things that happens when you're the quote unquote life of the party is people take a liking to you, and they develop a personal relationship with you in their head. And so I had someone reach out to me in a private message on Facebook. And I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to respond, right? They'll get the hint. Well, this one particular person didn't get the hint. Not only did she not get the hint, but she tagged me in a comment on the main page asking, did I see her message, right? And finally, I just responded and said, yes, I saw it, and left it like that. To which she responded with a sad face emoji and a tear crying emoji. I thought that was interesting. A woman who doesn't know me is sad that I didn't respond to her direct message. And then shortly thereafter, I don't know how many days or weeks had passed, someone else reached out and said, girl, I hadn't seen you in a while. Where have you been? And both of those messages, when I saw them and read them, my first reaction was I wasn't comfortable with that. I don't question that. I don't say to myself, well, Alana, you don't want to be mean. You want to be nice. These people are probably harmless. No, my very first reaction when I saw those messages was I didn't like it. It bothered me. It wasn't what they said. It wasn't, I can't even say that it was that they actually sent me a message, but there was something about that both times, two separate people, two separate occasions, both from the same group, that when I saw the direct message to me, I didn't like it. it gave me a feeling of distaste. It was kind of like, ugh. And I found myself initially thinking, what would I even say to this person? And all that together let me know I'm not comfortable with this. And that's all I needed to hear. And so once the second person messaged me, I thought, oh, okay, let me go ahead and say something within the group to let everybody know I'm not comfortable with people sending me direct messages. And comfortable, that's another uncertain term in my book. When I say I'm not comfortable with, sometimes when people use the term I'm not comfortable with something, for whatever reason, some people feel like, oh, if I just make them comfortable with it, they'll be okay. And so that's not, there's no room for you to make me comfortable. So I'm not going to use that term. So I went into the group and I typed up a nice post. It was approved by the admins because you had to wait some time to get it approved. It took a minute for it to get it approved. Normally my posts get approved right away, but it took a minute. And in the post, I said, I thought I am sending this message to let everyone, make everyone aware of something. I do not, and I may have even put do not in capital letters. No, I didn't. I wrote, I do not want to be contacted outside of this group. If you are in this group, in this Facebook group, and you would like to contact me, you're going to need to put together a post and tag me in it and allow me to respond here. I do not, under any circumstances, want anyone in this group to contact me via direct message, because I have several platforms. I have accounts on several different platforms. So I wanted to make it clear, I don't want you to contact me on Facebook. I don't want you to contact me on Instagram. I don't want you to contact me on TikTok. If you're in this group and you want to have a conversation with me, let's have it here in the group. And, now that I've had time to think about it, also sometimes things can get a little blurry, rules of the group, what should be talking about, what should not be talking about. And I got a lot of responses on that post. The two I remember most were one woman saying, wow, you articulated yourself very well. I would never have the courage to say that, to say something like this, is what she said. And then there was another woman who mentioned something similar, that I do think that there may have been some negative comments. I just don't remember what they were. Or maybe people like questioning, maybe not negative, but I think some people were questioning like, dang, what did they say in the direct message? Like, oh my God. And I remember responding. It may have been, I think I only responded to the lady who said, wow, I never would have had the courage to express myself in that way. I responded to her and I let her know, I said, because, it's a public comment. I said, well, it really wasn't, it actually wasn't a big deal. It just made me very uncomfortable, and I don't question those things. I'm not going to sit around and try to figure out, why am I uncomfortable? Maybe I'm overreacting. I trust me enough that I'm willing to make the move and it be a mistake on my behalf. Meaning I'm willing to go to bat for me and look stupid in the process. I'm willing for that to be my first response. I'm willing to look at how I responded to something and go, oh, dang, I kind of was tripping, when it's in the benefit of taking up for myself, or when it's in the benefit of giving myself the benefit of the doubt. I've given benefit of the doubt to a lot of unworthy people, places, and things. Of all of that, I have been the most worthy, but the least to hand out benefits of the doubt to myself. And so I made it very clear. And what I knew to be true is that the people who understood it would understand it. And the people who didn't, just not my people. And I left it at that. So my question to you is, have you ever been in a situation like that where you had to talk yourself into taking up for yourself? Or did you experience having to talk yourself out of taking up for yourself? Like, oh, well, I'm not going to say anything because, whatever. Because some may subscribe to the understanding. I want to put this out there as well. Some may subscribe to the understanding that, well, I would have just ignored the messages and just never responded to them. And that is one way to approach it. And I applaud you if you feel like that's the best way for you. For me, it would not have worked because every time I saw a message, I thought, how can I keep this from happening again? And the reason I felt that was because every time I saw a message, I had a negative reaction to it. Like, it felt like, why is this person? Maybe I felt like I was well, there I go trying to explain to y'all because I'm pretty sure y'all trying to figure some stuff out. But I don't do that. I don't try to explain to myself. I don't say, well, maybe. No. My first reaction is, this is making me uncomfortable. I need to stop it. Now, had the person done something else that made me uncomfortable and the actual them sending me a message wasn't really what made me uncomfortable, then that's different. But I can tell you, the moment I saw that message in the inbox in Facebook of that person reaching out to me, it made me feel uncomfortable. One person I told you wanted to know, girl, where you been? The other person said, oh, I think I live near you. Maybe we should get together. Maybe it was the message that I didn't like. I don't know. I'm telling you, I didn't question it. And I felt amazing afterwards. And all it did was set the precedence, or should I say, it helped me work that muscle for myself going forward. So if I feel that someone is in my space in any way that makes me uncomfortable, I'm not living my life uncomfortable. I'm not doing that. So I don't need you, them, or myself to explain why it is I feel uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable. There's a move that I'm about to make. I have a list of them in my head, just out of intuition. What am I going to do next? I'm going to let everybody know. Whoever sent the message is going to know. And anybody who's thought about sending the message is going to know. And anybody who thinks, dang, what could they have said in the message that would make you react that way? See, you don't get it. Because see, you think it needs to be a certain something that is said. You don't understand that it doesn't matter what they said. It matters that they reached out to me and that made me uncomfortable. And that's it. So I would love for you to comment and tell me if you've ever been in a position like this. How did you handle it? Did you wish you had handled it better? Did you wish you had handled it better? Or did you handle it in a different way and you're totally fine with that? Let me know.